Today for our webinar, Dynamics GP to Dynamics 365 Business Central, Why It Matters. My name is Katie, and I will be the facilitator today. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question area in the control panel on the right-hand side of your screen, and we'll answer questions at the end. This session will be recorded and posted on our blog, as well as shared with you early next week. Now, I would like to introduce today's presenter, Tracy Santos, Practice Lead for our Account Management Team here at Encore. Tracy, I will pass it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. I'm super excited to be here with you today. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the video off so that we can focus on the presentation and what we're sharing. And I'm going to turn off the camera and then go back to my PowerPoint so we can get going. And I have a lot of content today. And we only have half an hour together, so let's try and get through this as quickly as possible. Welcome to today's webinar. We're here to talk about the future of your business beyond Dynamics GP. Let me start by acknowledging something important. Dynamics GP has been a trusted solution for many years. It's familiar, reliable, and for many of you, it's been the backbone of your business operations. We understand that comfort. It's like a well-worn path you know by heart. You know, kind of like when you get in your car and you're going to go to the grocery store and you don't know how you got there. But today we want to talk about what lies ahead and why staying on that path may no longer be the safest choice. Many businesses continue to operate on Microsoft Dynamics GP because it feels familiar and reliable. However, this comfort comes at a significant cost. As Dynamics GP approaches its end of life, the lack of ongoing support and updates poses increasing risks to business operations. These risks include exposure to security vulnerabilities, challenges in maintaining compliance with evolving regulations, and limitations in integrating with modern tools and platforms. The absence of innovation and scalability in GP means businesses may struggle to keep pace with competitors who have adopted more advanced solutions. Our goal is to address these concerns and guide you toward a more secure, efficient, and future-ready platform, Dynamics 365 Business Central. Dynamics GP may feel familiar, but that familiarity masks growing risks. As support winds down, your business becomes increasingly vulnerable to security threats, compliance issues, and operational inefficiencies. Microsoft has announced the end-of-life timeline for Dynamics GP. No future updates, no security patches, no support. Every day you delay increases your exposure. In regards to security, no patches could mean open doors for cyber threats. Compliance, outdated systems may not meet evolving regulations. Productivity, legacy systems slow down innovation and integration. Your team has moved forward with new innovations in technology, and we want to make sure that your systems can match that. They're used to working with Microsoft products. As the end-of-life date approaches, the risks grow exponentially. Here's what the future looks like for GP. Microsoft has already announced the end of mainstream support, and extended support is winding down. That means no new features, limited security updates, and growing compatibility issues, which I'm sure we've all experienced. As we move closer to the end of life date, the risks compound, especially around compliance, integrations, and data security. Remaining on Dynamics GP may seem like the safe choice, but it introduces hidden risks that can impact long-term business viability. Without future updates or security patches, businesses are increasingly vulnerable to cyber threats and data breaches. Integration with modern tools such as Microsoft 365, Teams, and Power Platform is limited, reducing productivity and collaboration. Additionally, the pool of skilled professionals familiar with GP is shrinking, making it harder to find support and maintain the system. These factors contribute to operational inefficiencies and increased costs, making the transition to a modern cloud-based solution not just beneficial, but necessary. Comfort comes at a cost. Staying with GP may feel safe, but it's putting your business at increasing risk, which we've talked about: security, lack of innovation, rising support costs, and compliance challenges. Cybersecurity threats have escalated dramatically in 2025, posing significant risks to mid-market companies like yours that continue to operate on legacy on-premise systems like Microsoft Dynamics GP. According to recent industry benchmarks, the global cost of cybercrime is projected to reach over 10 trillion annually by the end of the year. This staggering figure includes ransomware payouts, business interruption, regulatory fines, recovery costs, and lost business. For mid-sized organizations, the average cost of a ransomware attack has surged to be over 1.1 million. These costs are not limited to ransom payouts. They encompass downtime, reputational damage, customer churn, and increased insurance premiums. On-premise systems like Dynamics GP lack the modern security infrastructure needed to defend against these sophisticated threats. They often rely on outdated authentication methods, limited encryption, and manual auditing processes, making them vulnerable to breaches. In contrast, cloud-based platforms like Dynamics 365 Business Central offer robust security features including Azure Active Directory authentication. Well, that's a tongue twister, isn't it? Azure Active Directory authentication, layered data encryption, and AI-driven threat detection. Microsoft synthesizes over 65 trillion signals daily to proactively identify and neutralize threats, blocking an average of 4,000 identity authentication threats per second. This level of protection is virtually impossible for mid-market companies to replicate on-premise. By migrating to the cloud, businesses not only reduce their exposure to cyber threats, but also gain access to continuous innovation, automated updates, and a global network of security professionals. The financial and operational risks of staying on-premise far outweigh the perceived comfort of legacy systems. Transitioning to the cloud is not just a strategic upgrade, it is a critical step towards safeguarding business continuity and resilience in an increasingly hostile digital landscape. 2 weeks ago, we had 2 clients who were on-premise experience a cyber attack. One of the clients was very assured, he had his own set of teams of people internally. He thought he was very secure. And of course, it was quite a surprise to that business that they got attacked. And again, we've worked diligently with them to get them back up and running. Many customers express hesitation about migrating from Dynamics GP, citing concerns about cost, complexity, and disruption. However, delaying the transition only amplifies these challenges. As infrastructure ages and support diminishes, the cost of maintaining GP increases. Businesses face growing risks of system failure, data loss, and compliance issues. The longer the wait, the more complex and expensive the transition becomes. Addressing these concerns proactively with a clear roadmap and support tools can ease the transition and position businesses for future growth. Staying with GP may feel safe, but it's putting your business at increasing risk. While GP may still work, the reality is that comfort comes at a cost. The longer you stay, the more exposed your business becomes. Security vulnerabilities increase, innovation slows, and support becomes more expensive and harder to find. Familiarity can feel safe, but in today's fast-moving digital landscape, it can also be risky. Let's talk about the strategic benefit of a transition. Transitioning from on-premise ERP systems like Dynamics GP to Dynamics 365 Business Central offers significant advantages in accessibility, scalability, cost, security, and innovation. Dynamics 365 Business Central offers a modern cloud-native solution that is secure, scalable, and integrated with the broader Microsoft ecosystem, the products that you use every day. It includes built-in AI and automation, features that help businesses work smarter, adapt faster, and perform better. Integration with Microsoft 365, Teams, and Power Platform enhance collaboration and productivity. Business Central is deployed on Azure, ensuring high security and compliance standards. With regular updates and a robust product roadmap, it provides continuous innovation and eliminates the need for costly upgrades. A cloud-first future. Dynamics GP is not cloud native and requires on-premise or premises infrastructure or hosting, so IaaS. Business Central is built for the cloud, offering anywhere access, automatic updates, and no server maintenance. Better integration and extensibility. Business Central connects natively to Power BI for analytics, Power Automate for workflows, pardon me, Dataverse and Azure services. GP requires third-party tools for many integrations. Cloud accessibility and mobility. Business Central enables anytime, anywhere access via web and mobile, supporting remote and multi-location teams effectively. Because we are a global workforce. Some of us are still working at home. Some of us are working in other countries. We want to be able to work in our teams effectively. Automatic updates and innovation. Users benefit from biannual automatic updates, gaining new features, AI tools like Copilot and compliance updates without manual effort. Lower total cost of ownership. Eliminating the need for server maintenance, as well as all the resources that go with that, and infrastructure, reduces IT overhead with predictable subscription pricing, enhancing cost management. No need for server hardware, SQL licenses, manual upgrades. Predictable subscription pricing with reduced IT overhead. Also, there is enhanced security and compliance. Built on Microsoft Azure, Business Central offers enterprise-grade security, disaster recovery, data encryption, and adherence to standards such as GDPR and SOX. Seamless Microsoft integration, native connections with 365, Power BI, Power Automate, Dataverse, and Azure services, streamline workflows and analytics. AI and automation with Copilot. Copilot automates tasks like email drafting, report generation, cash flow forecasting, and repetitive activities, boosting productivity and insight generation. Business Central includes AI-powered features like cash flow forecasting, email drafting, inventory insights. GP lacks native AI capabilities. Real-time data and insights. A unified data model supports real-time dashboards, KPIs, and forecasting, facilitating informed decision-making with up-to-date financial and operational data. Transition flexibility and support. Comprehensive transition checklists and pathways include data preparation, testing, training, and post-transition support, ensure smooth transitions tailored to business needs. Continuous improvement. GP only receives minor updates and is in maintenance phase. Business Central gets biannual feature updates, including new modules, performance improvements, and regulatory compliance. It's a modern user experience. Business Central has modern, intuitive web interface, much like all the other Microsoft products they use every day. So again, you know how to navigate your other Microsoft products. You'll find that Business Central works very similar. Seamless integration with Microsoft 365, Excel, Outlook, Teams, role-based dashboards, and personalized workspaces. So those of us who are used to in GP, how we have our windows set up. So again, when you're working in a window, be journal entry or AP entry, you can then go and personalize how that works. So again, you've got that ability without customization or having to have a developer's license to be able to go in and change those windows to the way that you work. Now, I found that really interesting when I was first looking at Business Central, having grown up myself on GP. For those of you've known me forever, I used to be a GP implementer, and I really, really enjoy working with Business Central. One of my favorite things, I'm totally going off script here. One of my favorite things is when you're in Business Central, on the top right-hand side, it's got the search functionality. It'll just take you to wherever you need to go. I don't need to learn how to navigate all those windows. Really easy to get around and find what I'm looking for. Modern solutions like Dynamics 365 offer cloud scalability, AI, and real-time analytics. While GP remains static, modern solutions like Dynamics 365 Business Central are evolving rapidly. You're missing out on cloud scalability, AI-driven insights, real-time reporting, and seamless integration with other Microsoft tools. These aren't just nice to haves, they're becoming essential for staying competitive and agile, as well as our multi-generational workforce. They're used to seeing those tools available to them in their systems. Again, moving to Business Central streamlines workflows, reduces manual processes, and lowers costs. For example, customers have reported up to a 40% reduction in manual processes, leading to increased productivity and efficiency. Sometimes it's easy to look at just the hard costs that we see. Okay, great. What is a license, or what is my annual maintenance with GP? But again, we have to think about if our workforce is more productive, we can get a lot more done. So again, that cost reduction on many things, making people more productive. Business Central provides real-time data and AI-driven insights, enabling faster, smarter decisions. Explain. Oh my gosh, I've been talking now, for 20 minutes. I gotta slow down. You'll have access to up-to-date financials and operational data across locations, empowering leaders to respond quickly to market changes. And we have predictive analytics and dashboards in Business Central supporting proactive planning and better business outcomes. This slide's out of order, but I'm sticking it in here because this is one of the most common questions that we received as we were preparing for this webinar with all of our amazing clients. Is great. You've been on GP for a really long time, and that data is important to you, whether you want to keep 4 years, 7 years, whatever, from a regulatory perspective, or yeah, you want to be able to access that. So again, you've got lots of options, and again, that's something that we would work with you to decide. So again, when moving from Dynamics GP to Dynamics 365 Business Central, you have several options for handling your historical data. The right approach depends on your business needs, compliance requirements, and as well as other factors, and we'll walk you through that. So again, you can bring as little or as much as you want, and we have options. So a common area is to put it up in Azure Data Lake. So if we think about, and I just had a great conversation with a client yesterday on what are these options. So again, if you want to keep GP running, sitting there on the server, and you want to access it that way, you can do that. Maybe you want to go ahead and sunset that server and you've got all your data. We can put that up in the Azure Data Lake, and you can use tools to query that data. If you'd like the experience of when you're in Dynamics 365 Business Central and you want to see the GP data as well, we've got a great tool called PopDoc, and allows you to see right inside of Business Central the new data that you're entering, as well as your historical data up from GP. There is another option too, is we take your historical years and we put that into a separate Business Central company. That's an inquiry company only, so you can go and look that up. So you've got great options, lots of options, even more than I've just discussed here, but those are some of them. So you do not have to lose your history. And again, we are our GP historical data is very important to us. And I just want to make that clear that when we first started doing this 7 years ago, I think it is now, when we did our first transition to Business Central from GP, we didn't have all of those options. So again, that has evolved, and all of that work is a benefit to you, and you get to choose how you want to have your data saved going forward. Another question that comes up about is not only AI, but data security and compliance. So specifically, Copilot in Business Central is built on Microsoft's enterprise-grade security and compliance framework. It ensures that user data is not used to train foundation AI models and is protected by comprehensive privacy controls. We're not in the EU, so I don't need to say that one. These measures align with Microsoft's responsible AI principles, including fairness, reliability, safety, privacy, and transparency. By maintaining strict data governance, Copilot provides businesses like yours with the confidence to adopt AI without compromising security or compliance. I'm going to have to really talk faster. Copilot seamlessly integrates with Microsoft 365 applications. So again, when you're using Microsoft Copilot in Business Central, again, it's going to work with all your other applications. And I'm going to skip by this really quickly because I am taking too much time here. Businesses like yours have already made the move and they're thriving. We've helped many businesses just like yours make the move, and the results speak for themselves. One customer, as I mentioned earlier, saw a 40% reduction in manual processes. Another gained real-time visibility into their financials across multiple locations. These aren't just upgrades, they're transformations that unlock growth and efficiency. And you're going to get all of this information afterwards, so please don't be concerned that I'm skipping by some of the content very quickly, but you'll have access to that again on your own after the presentation. Measurable ROI and financial impact. Organizations migrating from Dynamics GP to Dynamics Business Central have experienced significant financial benefits. According to a Forrester Total Economic Impact study, businesses reported a 265% return on investment over 3 years and an NPV of 529,000. These figures reflect reduced IT overhead, streamlined operations, and improved decision-making capabilities. Business Central's cloud-native architecture eliminates the need for costly server maintenance and manual upgrades, allowing companies to reallocate resources towards strategic growth initiatives. The platform's subscription-based pricing model also provides predictable costs, further enhancing financial planning and stability. These financial outcomes demonstrate how modern ERP solutions can directly contribute to business growth and profitability. One GP to BC client shared how happy they were after the transition, stating that manual finance entries that took multiple hours a day to prepare and post now takes minutes. Quarterly inventory and payroll entries took anywhere from 4 hours to 2 days to prepare, post, and review. The combination of a worksheet created to upload the information to Dynamics 365 Business Central and the edit in Excel function in D365 BC has made those entries nearly instantaneous for the team. Maria from Omega, a quote from her, "The transition to a cloud-based ERP saved us in a recent cyber attack. The only way we were able to continue to bill customers and pay vendors during the 3-week outage was entirely thanks to D365 Business Central." The thing that stands out here from Omega was another quote where the actual project was easier than expected. This customer, Microsoft's done actually 2 case studies on them. So again, a very long time GP customer that did make that transition to Business Central. Another client that moved from Business Central with Encore, moved from GP to Business Central with Encore, quoted saying 0 business disruption. Now, I can't guarantee that for everybody, but that's the way that they experience that process, 0 business disruption. Because that was another question about what is the interruption like in doing this project. Dynamics 365 Business Central empowers organizations with cutting-edge technology that drives innovation and growth. The platform includes AI-powered features such as cash flow forecasting, email drafting, and inventory insights, which helps businesses automate repetitive tasks and make data-driven decisions. Business Central's continuous innovation is supported by biannual feature updates and monthly improvements, ensuring that businesses stay ahead of regulatory and performance requirements. This commitment to technological advancement enables companies to future-proof their operations and respond swiftly to market changes. By adopting Business Central, organizations position themselves for sustained growth and competitive advantage. Copilot in Dynamics 365 Business Central is Microsoft's AI-powered assistant designed to help small and medium-sized businesses scale operations and enhance productivity. Integrated directly into Business Central, Copilot streamlines workflows, automates repetitive tasks, and provides intelligent insight across finance, sales, operations, and IT functions. This presentation introduces Copilot as a transformative tool that empowers business decision makers to work smarter and adapt faster in a competitive market. By leveraging AI capabilities, Copilot helps users focus on strategic initiatives rather than the manual processes, making it a valuable asset for digital transformation. Copilot in Business Central offers a diverse set of capabilities that support various business tasks. These include guiding users through new concepts and skills, finding records and products using natural language, analyzing data to uncover insights, suggesting product descriptions and set up patterns, and comparing bank statements and documents for reconciliation. These features are designed to simplify complex workflows and reduce the time spent on manual tasks. By acting as a virtual assistant, Copilot enhances the user experience and operational efficiency, making it easier for your organization to manage your business processes and respond to changing demands. Copilot simplifies navigation and learning within Business Central. This intuitive interaction model reduces training time and enhances user adoption, making Copilot a practical tool for everyday business operations. Another question that came up was, about learning the user interface. Hey, I'm really good. I've been using GP for 20 years. I know it inside and out. I really feel confident and I'm very productive. So again, by using Copilot within Business Central, it's going to be your assistant to help you learn the new system and make sure that you feel as efficient and productive as you were in GP. I have a few more slides on Copilot. Well, I think we'll just skip by them because we are running out of time. But just a few stats there, 75% of people already using AI at work and 85% believe it helps them concentrate on their most important tasks. So again, you've got that natively within Business Central. So some of the core capabilities in Business Central, guiding users through new concepts and skills. So again, it's going to be your assistant, finding records and using natural language, analyzing data to uncover insights, suggesting product descriptions and set of patterns, comparing bank statements. Again, that's all natively there, so it enhances that user experience. Transitioning to Dynamics 365 Business Central is not a one-size-fits-all process. Businesses can choose from multiple pathways, including a standard transition, net new implementation, or a broader transformation strategy. Each path is supported by Encore and is designed to simplify the transition and ensure predictable outcomes. Our team will work with you to assess current environments, define transition goals, and leverage available resources such as the Encore BCMA program, Bridge the Cloud offer, and other valuable incentives offered by Encore and Microsoft. This flexible approach empowers businesses to modernize at their own pace while minimizing disruption. Support is available at every stage of the transition journey. Dedicated transition support ensures that businesses receive expert guidance, tools, and services to accelerate delivery and achieve predictable outcomes. Our dedicated teams are committed to helping customers transition smoothly and confidently. By leveraging these programs, businesses can reduce costs, mitigate risks, and realize the benefits of Business Central faster. Encore is dedicated to supporting the community of Dynamics GP customers through every phase of their transition. So again, when we're working with the account management team, that's a great place for lots of information, resources, and support, and talking about other clients that we've already transitioned over from GP to Business Central. We have a whole YouTube channel where we've shown this is how you did it in GP, this is how you'll do it in Business Central, as well as ongoing webinars by our team members. And again, these are people that you've worked with for many, many, many years. We've really spent a lot of time on our website, making sure that we've got fresh content up there that can help you through this transition. Encore BCMA, if you haven't done that yet, I encourage you to do that. It's a technical and a functional assessment. And again, we can build out that roadmap for you to get your project started. Another thing you should do is document your processes right now and your business challenges. What things are you doing outside of the system? What would you like to automate? What are some challenges? And also looking at your data. If you've got 25 years of history on GP, it might be time to uh, I don't want to say delete, but if you're not looking at it, you don't need to keep those years. And again, is it 10 years worth of history you want from a reporting perspective and 7 years from a regulatory compliance? Those are things that we can talk about, is make sure we can clean up the data. Also in your chart of accounts. Do you like your chart of accounts? Don't like your chart of accounts? Encore has created several unique promotions for Dynamic GP users transitioning to Dynamics 365 Business Central. With multiple offers available, you can stack eligible offers for maximum benefits and savings. So there's various things, and you can talk with your account manager about those Encore promotions that we created specifically for you. Some of the questions that came up ahead of time when you were registering talked about add-on products. What happens to my add-on products? And we do have other, I think I did a whole webinar just on add-on products. But again, typically what happens is we look at in GP, what add-on products are you using and what other systems that you're integrating with. And then we look at it and say, great, is it still needed in Business Central? And typically the vendor, if they've got a product for GP, they've rewritten that for Business Central as well. So again, specifically someone was calling out some of the Wensoft products, and they've been a little bit slower than a lot of the other ISV vendors in getting their applications to work with Business Central, but that is coming. They have some products coming out this year, and then the remainder will be next year. So again, very positive news coming from the Wensoft team. So again, we look at that. People wanted to know about the cost. So again, we've got the Accelerator, which is a fast fixed price and fixed scope implementation for companies with simpler requirements. Reflector mirrors your current business process from Dynamics GP into Dynamics 365 Business Central. And Fresh Start is an update and improve your business processes as well as your ERP. So for companies wanting to reimagine their business processes, configuration, and reporting. So again, you've got choices there. And again, you can work with your account manager on what type of transition would work best for you. What people want to know about the timeline. So again, there's nothing stopping you from starting now and doing some learning and learning about Business Central. We've got tons of resources out there for you to adopt and learn about. One of the biggest differences for me, previously being an accountant, was GP is a segmented chart of accounts. Business Central is a dimensional chart of accounts. So again, takes away a lot of that pain that we were, put in a box in GP to give us more flexibility, especially from an analytics and reporting perspective. Again, that ease of transition, again, we want to make sure there's lots of resources out there for you so that you feel very comfortable. And that Copilot in Business Central is a game changer, like in helping people become feeling very proficient in this new application. Because again, we want to give them that confidence. We want to make sure that they don't feel that they're not supported and that they really knew GP really well, and what does this mean going to a new system? We don't want it to be, as people sometimes compare it to a heart transplant, that such a big project. I want to take that fear away. I want to make sure that you feel supported. Training, lots of training. There's Microsoft Learn, there's training with our teams, there's videos, and again, using Copilot, and you can, again, documenting your processes and making sure that that Copilot knows your processes and can assist you going through that. So again, lots of great resources. So those were some of the questions. If I haven't addressed all your questions, we can definitely get your account manager to call you and have a quick chat with you about any questions that we don't cover today. Transition doesn't mean disruption, it means transformation. One of the biggest concerns we hear about is the transition process. Will it be disruptive? Will we lose data? Will our team struggle to adapt? The truth is, with the right planning and support, transition is smooth and manageable. We have proven paths, tools, and training to make the transition as seamless as possible. Encore has developed a specific Dynamics GP to Business Central process that ensures success. We've built out all types of supporting assets, blogs, webinars, videos, as well as our teams of support and implementation specialists who are the same people you've been working with over the years. All right, so what are we going to do? Urgency for Dynamics GP customers. As Dynamics GP approaches end of life with diminishing support and innovation, moving to Business Central mitigates security risks, compliance issues, and operational inefficiencies. Supported by Encore Promotions and Microsoft's Bridge to the Cloud program, let's get started. Let's talk about your future. It's time to move forward. So what's next? Let's talk. We're here to help you assess your readiness, explore your options, and build a roadmap that works for your business. The future is waiting, and it's more secure, more powerful, and more connected than ever. Let's move forward together. Schedule a transition assessment, and so reach out to your account manager and get that assessment scheduled. Exploring our ROI tools, utilize the ROI tools to understand the benefits and financial impact of moving to Business Central, because maybe you're not the person who's going to be signing the check for a project like this and you want to be able to build out your business case. So let's help you build out that business case. Join our support office hours, participate in office hours for GP and care to engage with our support team and get expert guidance. So when we have those ongoing webinars, lots and lots of things for you to take advantage of, but we really want to work with you to build out that roadmap and move you forward. We don't want to get that phone call like we got a couple of weeks ago from clients saying we've just been cyber attacked. We definitely want to avoid that for sure. So we've got a ton of additional resources which you'll have access to, and also your account manager will reach out to you to follow up on your attendance to the webinar. But Katie, if we have time, I know I've gone over time, so we might not have time for questions, but I'll hand it back to you to close up.
All right, thank you, Tracy, for a wonderful presentation, and thank you everyone for joining us. Again, if you do have any questions, please enter them into the question area in the control panel. We are over time, but Tracy, if it's okay, I do have a couple questions I'd like to ask. So the first one I have here is, does Business Central offer REST API?
I don't know what that is. I know what API is. So can I take that away?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll follow up with you after the webinar. I will ask your account manager to follow up with you after the webinar on that question. The next one I have is about payroll functions in GP. Do those migrate over to Business Central?
You know what? I said I would touch on payroll and I didn't. I am so sorry. One thing we loved about GP, it had Canadian payroll and US payroll out of the box. Awesome. Business Central does not. And so it is an add-on, an app. It is an app. And we have lots of great choices both in Canada and the US. So that is, again, we would sit down with you and find out what's the best product that suits your needs.
All right. Thank you, Tracy. You may have noticed in the chat there, I just added a link to our events page where you can register for those upcoming Dynamics GP to Business Central functionality comparisons sessions. We have one coming up next week. Don McNulty will be discussing sales order processing and invoicing, as well as I also added a link to where you can set your email preferences and opt into our emails so that you can stay in the know about upcoming events, training, and see our latest blog articles. We do have a few questions left, Tracy, but unfortunately we are at time for today. So if you have submitted any questions that we haven't been able to answer, your account manager will get back to you either today or into next week. So thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you, Tracy, for the information.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.